If you're going to be using video and social media to put yourself out there to increase your know, your like, and your trust, then how do you do it properly? A lot of people say, I'm doing doing videos, but it's not working. Well, yeah, that's because I appreciate the action you're taking, but the action you're taking, you're not taking it right. So how do we do it the right way? How do we do it the most effective way to get the best return on our investment? Would you guys like to know the answer to that? Oh, 100. A little bit, 100. You would like to know. Well, our next speaker is going to tell you exactly how to do it. Well, who is she? She's an author. She is a coach. She is in the top 1% of real estate agents in this entire country. Oh yeah, Holly, you can give that a round of applause. Yes. Might you say that this woman knows a thing or two about how to be seen as an expert and an authority? You might. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready to have her show you how to use video and social media so that you are more seen and so that you are seen as an expert so that you can increase your revenue, are you ready for it, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Well, if you are, get on your feet and welcome to the stage, Miss.
I thought I was going to be nervous, and then you guys gave me this awesome welcome, so I really appreciate that. And I have to say, you guys need some estrogen on this stage because I've seen the menu, and it's like all men, so I'm ready to rock you guys out, okay? So before I get into everything, I want to ask you guys a question. So would you be comfortable if somebody told you that there was an easier way for you to make more money, show up online, become the expert authority in your industry by doing things a little bit different?
Are you wanting a kickstart on your business and you want to learn how to be the go-to professional in your industry? Well, guess what? I've got a challenge for you. It's 5 days of coaching. It's brand new. Just go to KristaMashore.com/client conversion. That's KristaMashore.com/client conversion. And you'll get a training with me for 5 straight days that's going to help kickstart you as the go-to professional in your industry. So sign up and I'll see you there.
Yes, okay, a little bit easier. So what kind of things are you guys doing right now to generate leads? Just throw out some things to me. Referrals, great. Seminars. Social media. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys social media done right, all right? So before I get into that, and I love my little credit hero guy. Yay! He's like my little binky, so in case I get nervous, I'm holding him. So I'm just sitting. I'm going to take him home. Anyway, so with that being said, and hopefully you can hear me because it's my first time wearing one of these microphones, so I appreciate it. And I talk really fast. You guys better listen up because it's like you're going to have to rewind this for a second. What did she just say? So I'm going to try to focus on speaking a little bit more slowly because I have a ton of energy, and there is no caffeine in this body. It's just fully me. Yeah, I know. You guys probably think I'm on crack or something, right? I get asked that a lot, like, what do you drink? I'm like, oh, just water. But anyways, so I get asked all the time, Krista, like, how do you do so much business? How are you selling 151 homes a year when the average agent is only selling 3? Like, what's your secret? And recently, I've just launched a new coaching business about 4 months ago, and we're on record to set about $2 million this year. So they ask me, I'm going to show you how to do it. They say, like, how do you do it? And I'll tell you, there's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about the people that are in the Millionaire Club, which Daniel and Keenan are so awesome to have. And I got to say, thank you so much for having me, Daniel and Keenan. This thing is amazing. I love the energy in here, so I really appreciate you having me. And I mean that too. So I met a guy this morning at breakfast. I look like a hot mess. Everybody doesn't even know it's me. But I said, hey, how many people are in there? He goes, about 100. He goes, but man, this group is on fire. Like, they have tons of energy. I'm like, yes, I love those kind of groups. So good for you guys for being here and taking your business so seriously. So before I get into the reasoning on how I do what I do, I want to let you know something. I like to tell you a story if I can. And I tell you this story not to feel sorry for me, but to make you understand that we are all cut from the exact same thread. We're all the exact same people in this room, right? Whether you're in the Millionaire Club or whether you're in the I'm just getting by club, I mean, we're all the exact same. So many times we look at people that seem to be so successful, that seem to have everything, that seem to have the best car and the best relationship, right? And then the next day you see them on Facebook like, I love my husband, we're so wonderful. And the next day it's like, we're going to get divorced, right? Because people, they don't show you all the bad stuff. All you see is the good stuff, right? Isn't that true? Okay. So I tell you that by saying we are all the same. We're all cut from the same thread, but the difference between some people is how do you deal with adversity? Right? How do you actually take yourself from on the bottom and then move yourself up? And this is where my story comes in. So it was about 17 years ago, I was at breakfast with all my best friends. We'd all gone to high school together and very, very close. Our kids were running around. They were having a great time and just reminiscing, you know how that is. And all of a sudden, my phone rang. So being in real estate, I'm brand new in real estate, I answered. So on the other line, it was my friend from college. And she said, Krista, and I said, hey, Michelle, how you doing? She goes, I'm doing good. She's all, but I'm in Napa right now, and I've seen your husband. And I said, oh, I know, he's there golfing. And she's like, Krista, he's not golfing. I've seen him being intimate with a woman. So I know, it's like, ugh. So instantly, I was crushed because the thing is that it happened 3 years prior, and at that time, 3 years prior, I said, if this ever happens to me again, I will leave. So I knew at that point that my life was going to change very, very quickly. And the craziest thing was we had just bought in a brand new home, which I could not afford. I had just left my full-time teaching job to get into real estate, right, to spend more time at home with my children. But it didn't look like that was going to happen. So when something like this happens to you, you think that you're angry, but quite frankly, you are just absolutely devastated. You're hurt, and you wonder, like, why is this happening to me again? And this loop goes through your head. Why me? Why again? Like, once your fault, twice mine, right? How could I let this happen to me again? So then I'm stressing and worried and going, my kids, we have this life together. How many more lives? What else has happened? It's just this crazy spiral effect. I don't know if any of you have been there, but everyone thinks it just seems so natural for people to get divorced, but for me, my family was being crushed and ripped apart. So it was really, really devastating for me. So again, I tell you this because I know some of you have gone through something similar. Or maybe you're in a different spot right now, right? And maybe things, look like you can't get above where you're at. You're always going to be where you are. And I'll tell you that at that moment, I felt like I was going to pretty much die. So people say, Krista, where does your success come from? Well, I'll tell you where it comes from. Number one, you have to have your husband leave you. That's where it comes from. Number two, you need your bank accounts completely drained. Number three, it really helps when the new girlfriend is picking up your children driving your car, right? Really, who does that? I'm like, is this really happening to me? It happened, But the ultimate lowest point in my life was probably when I was sitting alone at Thanksgiving. My family are Jehovah's Witnesses, so they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And I was by myself, and it was the first holiday without my girls, right? And family to me is everything. I was emphatic about having a really solid family for my girls. So I remember just crying and drinking at 10 in the morning. I'm having a bottle of wine. Who does that, right? I was sad. And so I looked outside and feeling lonely and really just like I was worthless. I said, you know what, Krista? You better get off your butt and you need to make a change. You cannot continue to feel sorry for yourself. You need to put a backyard in that blank dirt for your daughters. You're going to put a pool out there for them. And I all of a sudden had a mind shift. Now, I will tell you, that year I lost about 30 pounds. I went under 100 pounds. It was not easy, but I made it happen. I went from selling 0 houses to selling 69 homes my very first year in the business. Again, not because I'm special. The reason I did it was because of these 2 girls right here, okay? They're what kept me going, and they're what continue to keep me going, right? So what is it like people like me, people that are in the Millionaire Club, people that you see that are so successful, what makes them different? I'll tell you, they're going through the exact same thing that you are. It's just how they deal with it that makes them different. It's they get up every single day, they put one foot in front of the other, and when they feel like jumping out of that rock, which I do a lot, even still, right, they still get up and they smile. And they put their best foot forward, and they show up, and they impact the world. I made a choice that day, people, and I just stuck to it. So the crazy thing is that things were going great, right? All of a sudden, I'm feeling better. I'm selling a lot of houses, making a lot of money. I didn't need anybody, so I kind of get back up there in the world, and things are doing better, and we're happy. And then all of a sudden, the market crashed again. So then I'm going from selling 150 homes to selling 12 homes in 1 year. So again, devastation, right? It was like I had a whole team. My daughters, I was able to keep them in their house, but then adversity hits again, right? But again, we jump back up and here we are. Why? So what makes people that are like that special? Well, I can tell you for me, it's definitely not because I'm more positioned, because I grew up in a foster home and a group home, right? I was a juvenile hall kid. That was me. So it's not because I'm special in that manner. I didn't have a family to help get me there. It's not because I'm smarter, because I was in special education class when I was younger. It's because I am consistent and emphatic about making a difference in my life and those around me, which is what all of you are going to do, right? That's why you're here. You want to help people. You want to help people improve their credit so they can have a better quality of life, and you can at the same time. Is that what you guys are here for? Yeah. That's what you're about, right? I get that from you. Daniel and Keenan seem to really live that way, and I can tell that their culture and their tribe are exactly the same way. So I love speaking in front of people like you. So with that being said, I've come a long way from that sad, lonely, depressed person in the kitchen, right? Because I made the choice to. And so now people say, Krista, here we are now. I'm getting a little bit older. And I'm actually happily married now, right? Like things got great. Most amazing husband you can ever ask for. So how do I do it? What makes me different? I'm going to put this little guy over here. I learned something called engagement marketing. The Fortune 500 companies call this content marketing. I call it engagement marketing. And we're going to get into what engagement marketing is, because let me tell you that if you learn this technique and you properly learn how to distribute it and use it correctly, you will quickly learn to dominate your industry. It's how in the past 4 months of going into the coaching business, I've been able to raise over $250,000 just in 4 months from doing the exact same technique that I'm going to teach you, breaking into a brand new industry. So if I can do it, and if people that I've taught that sell chapstick and t-shirts and lenders, if they can do it, so can you. You guys have an enormous amount of opportunity in front of you. So we all want the same thing, right? We want more time. We want more freedom. That's what most people tell me. I said, what do you want in life? They think they want money, but really they want freedom. They want the money so they can have more freedom. They want the money so they can have more time, right? I heard the young man up here saying that when you start to do really, really well, that you need to make sure you have your systems in place so that you can have more time and freedom. And heed his advice, because if you do it properly, if you market yourself properly, it can happen very, very quickly. So here's the deal. Let me ask you a question. Industries change all the time. Are you changing? Are you changing as the industries change? Are you changing as innovation and technologies change? Or are you still doing things the same? Really think about that, right? Because think about the travel agent. Remember the travel agent? You used to need a travel agent to go to Los Angeles. I'm from San Francisco. So you used to need a travel agent to go from San Francisco to LA. Now you can sit in your undies with a cup of coffee and book a trip to Europe, right? Why? Because industries change. The travel agent is gone. They no longer exist. We want to make sure that you continue to survive and thrive in what you're doing, right? Think about the phone. Remember it was this big the first they came out? And now they're like small and they're big again, you know? It's changing all the time. You need to change too. And people are reluctant to do it. They're very reluctant to change. And so I hope today that I'm going to have you shift your thinking a bit and open your mind and just say, I'm not sure that girl is, but maybe I'm going to just let what she's saying come in. Right? And see if there's just a few nuggets that you can take away today that I believe will absolutely make huge impacts in your business. All right? So your marketing is changing. Make sure that you are. So what is engagement marketing? Engagement marketing is when you give as much information and value as you can to your consumer. You do not sell, you serve. You do not sell, you serve. How do you do that? You become the go-to person about anything and everything that has to do with credit all the time. Right? What's the first thing that people probably ask you when they see you? How do I increase my credit? Right? I saw a guy in the back had a shirt on that says, ask me how to improve your credit, which I love that shirt. Such a great idea. If you're a credit person, everybody wants to know, how do I improve my credit? Well, you should tell them. Engagement marketing is when you give them support, advice, you help them, you serve them. You don't sell to them. Every one of you, in my business, it's like in real estate, everywhere you go, I'm the top agent. Everyone's a top agent. I don't know how that is, right? So instead of saying, no one cares if you're a top agent, what they care about is, how can I help them? How can I serve you? How can I help you? How can I make your life better? That's what your consumer wants to know about you. How can you make their life better? Because I would assume that if they're having bad credit, that they're in a bad place, right? They can't get that car. They can't get that loan. They can't get that house. You can be like the superhero guy that gets him there, superhero woman that gets him there, right? but they need to know how to do it. And I would assume that most of them are embarrassed and afraid to actually reach out and ask. So here's what I'll tell you. The easiest way to do it is by doing it without them even asking. So I learned this skill. So when the market crashed, I went from selling 169 homes my best year to selling 12. It was a huge culture shock. I had a huge team, a life to support, 2 children to take care of. I had to make a change. So I started studying what the Fortune 500 companies do. How do they market to their people? How do they market their goods and service? They do content marketing. They engagement marketing. That's how they reach people. They give them what they need. They help them. They give them value. They give them support. They give them advice. That's what I'm telling you to do. It will definitely help you. Now, how are you going to stand out? How are you going to give people what they want without them asking, right? What's the best way to do it? How are you going to actually show up, grab their attention, and say, look at me? There's a lot of credit repair people out there. There's a ton of coaches out there. There's a million agents out there, right? So how do you stand out above the crowd? How do you make an impact? How do you make a difference? I say video, okay? So I know some of you are like, oh, I hate video. Video is really scary to some of you. I'll tell you, standing on stage for me, it's really, really scary. You probably don't believe me, but I was on the plane like having a panic attack because this is only the second time that I've gotten up in front of a group of people, and so I was very, very nervous. But I went through it, right? Because my goal is to be the #1 real estate trainer in the world. My goal is to make an impact and positively serve every life that I touch. That's my goal. That's what I feel like I was meant on this world to be. So I'm up here. So if you're afraid of a video, I need to tell you, you've got to just try to get over it. What does video do? Video helps people to get to know you, to like you, and trust you. It breaks down barriers, all right? So as you start doing video properly, all of a sudden your community gets to see you. They get to know you. They get to like you. And if they don't like you, that's okay. You don't want those people anyways, right? And they learn to trust that what you have to say is valuable. People, and most likely I would assume in your industry, are not coming out and saying, hey, I've got crappy credit. Can you help me out? They're afraid. They're ashamed, right? So if you're the person that gets out on video and says, hey, let's talk about how to improve your credit, or how to, what are some things that you would say for credit? Give me some advice. How would you help somebody? Tips on building credit score, right? 3 things to help you get into your home faster. Think about all the questions that people ask you when you first come, and then start doing videos on it. Get out there and do videos. Give them information. Give them value. Give them content. Answer the questions that they're already asking. Remember, video establishes trust. People get to see you. Do you know how afraid people are nowadays? There is so much stuff out there, right? Who do you believe? Who do you know what to do? How do you know, what's really going to work? As people see you on video, it breaks down the barrier. They go, wow, that person really knows what they're talking about. They're just giving me all this information for no reason, for free, but they still need you. So don't be afraid to give them everything that they need to know, because the bottom line is that they still need you to help them get you there, to help get them there. But guess what? They won't know about you if they don't see you. Your job is not just to be a credit repair hero, right? It's to be a marketer, to be an attention grabber. Your job is to stand out above the crowd and make sure that everyone sees you so they know that they can go to you. Think about how many times you've let's just say you've had a great contractor work for you, and you're going to use that person, right? But guess what? After a year goes by, you forget about that contractor, don't you? So I'm telling that you don't let anybody forget about you. Be the person that stands out all the time in their minds, because you're constantly being present. And when they see you, they get to like you, right? I want them to use me other than that person. And if they get to, if they see me enough, eventually the right people that I want to attract, my tribe, my avatar, is going to want to work with me. Not everybody will, because I'm pretty crazy and hyper, so, you either love me or don't, but that's okay. I'm only trying to go to the people that I know I'll connect with, that I can help, that I can serve better. Again, we said it breaks down barriers, and I'll tell you, it works so, so well. So videos help you get to know your consumer, right? And guess what? You are a product. You are a product. You're a service. But people don't know that unless you let them know about you, okay? So this is some crazy, crazy information here. 64% of people said that they would buy a product. They're more likely to buy a product that they see online. You are a product. Are you online? Are people seeing you? Are they seeing you properly? Okay? 90% of customers report that that video helps them make a purchasing decision. By using video, it helps them want to purchase if they see video. So give them what they want, and you're in it. 87% of marketers use video right now. You are marketers, all right? This is your business. Yes, you sell credit, but if people don't know about you, then they're not going to know that they can use you, right? This is a crazy stat here. Revenue increases by 50% when using video. And here's the cool thing. If you're brand new in the industry, this works for you. You can be brand spanking new and go out there and talk about credit and how you can help people and your 5 tips and things to do, and you can start quickly being seen as the expert, even though you're brand new. If you're doing a ton of business already and you want to increase that, I'll tell you what, do video. It works for beginners, it works for people in the middle, and it works for people at the very, very top. And it works very, very quickly, okay? I love this stat. So 1 single minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. 1 minute of video, right? Because people see it and they hear it and it really resonates with them. So think about how many blogs you'd need to do, right, to have somebody get something, or you could just do 1 minute video. Make it a lot easier. I'm trying to save you guys time, right? So people retain 95% of what they watch and only 10% of what they read. I hope this is really, really clicking in. And I know that video is very, very scary for some people, but I'll tell you what, it works so, so well in any industry. And I'll tell you, especially with yours, I just think that it's just amazing what it can do because people are afraid to reach out. They're embarrassed. So if you're giving them information and value and they're getting to know that you're a real person and you want to help them, they're going to be more likely to reach out to you. And that's our goal, right? And here's what I learned when I was doing some research about your field. I learned that 30% of Americans have bad credit. That means that you can help 1 out of 3 people. Are you helping 1 out of 3 people? If not, you can, right? I mean, that I did not know that. So I was doing research trying to figure out how can I best serve you today? How can I kind of really make you impact? And I thought, 30%? That's a huge number. Right? That means if you're in a room of 30 people, 10 of them need your help. But they don't know that you can help them because you're not being seen. Right? So I'm going to encourage you to start being seen and show up where they are. And more importantly, we'll learn in a minute to show up correctly so they're actually seeing you. So a lot of people need you. Hope you guys are kind of sticking in. Sorry, guys. So here's what I always tell. This is my book I wrote. I teach people that if you want to be seen, you want to be known, you need to be heard, right? Be seen, be known, be heard. How are you going to do that? By using video. And then properly distributing video so that people have no reason but to see you in all of their feeds. This is so powerful, and people are so afraid of it, but it works so, so quickly. Okay, so my point to you is give your consumer what they want, right? They want your help. 1 out of 3 people need your help. They want you to be able to give them what they need so they can move on and have a better quality of life. But they don't even know what they don't know, right? They don't even know that you can help them, but you can be the person that actually teaches them and helps them get there. So people are, what am I going to say on video? I'm so nervous. Talk about what you know. You're experts in your industry. Keenan and Daniel have given you the best platform with tons of information. Go on there and learn. Watch the videos and then regurgitate it, right? People are asking, how do I repair my credit? Tell them, because they want to know. How do I fix my credit? That's probably the first question you guys always get. What do I do? Sometimes I go a little bit ahead. So be their trusted resource. Be their guide to give them what they need to make their life better. I got to tell you, you guys have got a great job. I mean, how fulfilling must it be to do what you guys do? That's just, it's amazing. You're helping people. You're changing their lives. You're helping them be able to afford to buy a car or a new home. What a great position that you're in. But make sure people know about you to be able to do it. Okay, so look, when people do a Google search, I just looked up how to get good credit. All these things came up. All of these wonderful things are what you could do a video on. So if you're worried about what to say, go on Google, look at a book. So simple. You have a plethora of things to talk about. Take notes from this seminar and go and do a video on it, right? Because people need to know the information that you have, and you don't even realize just how bad they need it. So this is my question. Do you want to wait for clients to come to you, or do you want to have them coming to you, right? You want to chase them, or do you want them coming to you? By doing this, they will start to flock to you because they'll know that you even exist. And it becomes so, it's like feeding candy to a baby. It becomes so easy, so quickly. And your business can change very, very quickly and rapidly if you consistently start to use video in your marketing, you properly distribute it. All right? So people get so stressed out about using video, they're like, oh, it's too much stress. I'll tell you what, it's not hard at all. All you need is a video camera, right? How many of you have a phone? Raise your hand, get a phone. Oh my gosh, I should say who doesn't have a phone. We all have phones, right? All of our phones have cameras on them. All you need is your video camera and be like, hi, it's Krista talking about credit repair. That's all you need to do. It's not hard. Don't make it more than it is. I tell my students, just start. Be perfectly imperfect. And as you start to do it more and more, you'll become better and better. If you saw my first videos, I was like Speedy Gonzales Rabbit. You couldn't hear a word I said. And but I still did it. And eventually I got better and better and better. And now I dominate my field. My next closest person in my area, last year I sold 151 homes. They sold only 60. Imagine the difference. And I'm telling you, I attribute most of it to the fact that I use video and I properly distribute it. All right? It works so well. So as you start to use video in your area, and you can do this locally, you can even do this nationally. As you start to use it the right way, people are going to be like, aren't you that credit person? Aren't you that credit guy? Aren't you that credit girl? You will see it when you're at Starbucks all the time. People will not be able to forget that you're able to help them. They're going to be reminded of who you are because they're seeing you all over town. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's effortless lead generation. It makes your job easy. Instead of you, I'm not sure, cold calling or doing whatever it is that you do to get your leads, they just start coming to you because they're seeing you. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. So you're probably thinking right now, like, oh, I can't do this, Krista. It's really, really hard. Well, I'll tell you what. If you look at the results of using video properly, you'll change your mind. If Tiffany can do it, Tiffany has 5 children, and she's using video constantly, and she all of a sudden is starting to really, really dominate in her field, okay? We've got Jenny Parson. Look at that, an amazing credit score. She's a real estate agent that landed up with a credit repair person, and they did a video in their area talking about credit, right? If Jenny can do it, and Jenny was really, really nervous. If Jenny can do it, so can you. If Stephanie can do it, so can you. We are all the same. There's not one person in this room that cannot do this. It's just a matter of getting out of your head, right? And let me tell you something. You're not that important. People don't care if you make mistakes. They expect you to. They just need help. So don't make it about you. Make it about them. Pretend you're looking at like they're in their underwear or something. I don't know. Or you're talking to that, what's that guy, maybe the basketball on the island. Just put a basketball there. Pretend like you're talking to Willie or whatever his name was. And let's just do it. Solely, right? What was it? Wilson, yeah. I did have the ball. Yeah, Wilson, okay? So I'm not the only one doing this. People are doing this, and it's working very, very quickly, and they are seeing measurable results in their business because they are doing things differently, and they are standing out amongst the crowd, amongst all the noise. They are grabbing the attention of the consumer. Remember, you're a marketer, right? It's your job to grab people's attention, to get them to show up and want to use you. And be yourself, right? It's okay to make mistakes. Not everyone's going to be the same. If you're kind of more mosaic, be that way. You'll just attract that kind of person. If you're totally hyper like me, be totally hyper, right? I will say one thing, though. You have to be enthusiastic. So no matter what in your videos, you've got to smile and you've got to be enthusiastic because people like people that are enthusiastic, right? They also like confidence. So make sure when you do it, you're confident, you're smiling, and be yourself. And it's okay if you make mistakes. Just keep on. I made mistakes up here, right? Do you guys want to throw eggs at me? No. I'm human, okay? I would say energy is engaging. If you don't have it, try to fake it a little bit. Like I said, getting past my slides. So quick review. What does video do? It establishes trust. It breaks down barriers. It gets people to know you, like you, and trust you, and it gets you to be seen, to be heard, and be known. They cannot forget you when you use video. And I would imagine that most of the people in your industry are not doing it. So there's other people in your area that are your competitors. This right here is what's going to set you apart from your competitors. This is what's going to help you do well. But here's the thing. It's not enough to just use video. You need to properly use video. And I think after seeing some of these stats, you guys are going to be pretty impressed as far as properly using video, what it can do. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so you have to distribute it properly. How many of you who are using social media? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you think you're using social media properly? Okay, this is going to help you then. So I love it if you said yes. So if you don't, that's awesome. You're going to learn how, all right? So you need to be seeing where people are looking. And right now, people are looking on social media. I'm not going to go over all the platforms, but there's a lot of them. There are, there's Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram. There's a ton of platforms that you can do. You can do podcasts. We can go on and on, right? But I'm going to focus right now. Take a picture of that, yes, I'm going to focus on just one because I would be here all day if I focused on all of them. So I'm going to focus on Facebook. All right? So on Facebook, there's over 2.1 billion active users on Facebook every single day. 2.1 billion. The average person visits Facebook for 51 minutes. 51 minutes. And they go there 17 times a day. Now I'm going to ask you, are you on Facebook? And, good. And if you're not on Facebook, are you on another platform? And are you mastering it? Are you studying how to properly use your platform? Okay? 76% of people on Facebook are female. Why am I telling you this? Because who is your avatar? These are very important facts, whether you're using Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter. Who is your population? Who are you trying to go after? You need to know that. For me, the reason I use Facebook is because in my real estate industry, the woman is the decision maker. So I decided to make Facebook be my platform because I know the woman is going to be the decision maker. I would tell you, most likely in your business, I would say it's the same because women are usually the ones that get things going in the household, right? Men, shake your heads. Yes, we are. Okay, we're the ones that are doing it, right? We're the ones that are getting things done. So you might want to think about Facebook for your platform, okay? That best traffic time is between 1 and 3 p.m. Why is this important to know? Because you want to know when you should be running your ads, when you should be spending your money on Facebook properly so you don't waste it. And this is crazy. Engagement is 81% higher on Thursday and Friday. So here's the thing. This will tell you all the numbers. You can look at that later, take a picture if you want. But it's important to know so you know who your target market is. But here's what most people do with social media. They do it incorrectly. Most people will just post on their page. They'll post on their business page. They might even do a boost. But guess what? And they're wondering, why is this not working? Why am I not getting enough leads? Why are not enough people calling me and contacting me? Because they're not properly using social media. So I'm going to encourage you, whatever your platform is, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter, to figure out how their algorithm works so you can properly get yourself out there, right? So I'm going to show you how social media is done correctly. Do not just boost. There's a reason you never want to boost. People, you say on Facebook, boost this ad, $20. The thing about just boosting is you can do nothing with that algorithm, all right? So when you just boost, you don't know who's seeing it. You don't know, you can't retarget to them. So just boosting is not enough. If you are just boosting or just, even worse, only posting on your business page, about 3% of people are actually seeing what you're doing. There's all these companies out there that are saying, hey, hire me to do a Facebook campaign or hire me to run your ads. But guess what? They're giving the same exact ad to every single other credit repair person out there. So it's not doing anything for you because Facebook is an algorithm, and their algorithm reads the use of their user and gives their user what they want. Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called F.I.R.E.D Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.